Looking to get this thing planted ASAP. Oh, you're soaked, dude. Liz, do you think I'm just chasing a shiny object? We're actually gonna get this done. I do not know the way to Idaho. I was kind of worried I was gonna have to drive home empty-handed. Hey, it's Adam with TruGrid Agronomy. Today we're out in Barney, North Dakota, doing some EarthOptics TruNutrient and TruTill scans. Got my intern Brodie with me out here. He's running the rig. So that scanner on the front is called the Ground Owl. That uses ground penetrating radar, measures electrical conductivity, interpolates between spot A, spot B, spot C. And what we get in the end is a high resolution nutrient map. So every spot where you see a dot, Brodie's going to take some soil cores. There's about 28 of those spots. And then within that, there are 4 zones in the field too. He's also going to take a composite sample from each one of those zones. The composite zones are going to give us our TruBio DNA scan, and we're going to compare that to the DNA database that Pattern Ag has built. And then at each one of those points is where he's going to fill a sample bag, and that's where we're going to get our nutrient sample so we can see where all those nutrients are, where we need more, where we need less. It's essentially like a variable rate map, but instead of using satellite imagery or yield mapping, the soil will make the map for us. And it is a grid sample, but it's not as tight as a traditional grid sample. Typically guys will do 2.5 acres. Some places I've heard an acre, which is a sample per acre. That gets to be a lot of bags. This gets to be a lot of bags too, but we're spreading that out so we are covering 4 to 8 acres. We can make our grid wider, and with the Ground Owl scanner, we can tie it all together. The reason the grower wanted to do this field is because he's going to be planting sunflowers here, and he wants to know what kind of white mold pressure he is looking at. This is actually my first TruNutrient scan. We got all the way out here. It's almost 5 p.m. We didn't get started until late. We finished corn yesterday back in Argyle, and we got some rain, so I finally got some much needed sleep. And I called the grower, and he's looking to get this thing planted ASAP. So we needed to go to Lake Park, where the trailer was, which is an hour and a half from my home, and then drive from Lake Park to Galchute, which is another hour and a half, but more like 2 when you're in a rolling circus wagon billboard thing. So it has already been a long day, and I imagine this will take us a couple hours to get this done. Doing it for a friend of another champion seed guy, Al. Shout out, Al Moose. Thanks for getting us this job. That's where Brodie comes in. I met him because we're doing some research with the University of Minnesota this year. He has an internship with the extension office there, but they can only pay him for so many days. So I says, maybe you want to come help me. Kid likes to talk about life. That Brodie, he's a go-getter. Not long after Brodie got started, the sky opened up. Hasn't rained most of the spring. Fortunately, this ground is about as light as it comes. So it's not like back where I'm from, where if you get 2 drops of rain, it sticks to your tires for a week. Really heavy there. Super, super light here. Just going. I expected some challenges when I took on this EarthOptics thing. I kind of dive into stuff like a crazy man. I plow my way into it and figure it out. It has probably rained at least a 1/4 inch. In this sandy soil, he's driving on it and he's not even throwing mud. I think he's still going. He's on the other side of the trees. I'm just hoping for the best, working on some videos. I really wish I would have brought a sandwich. Oh shit. Shit. I got a bag of seed getting wet in here. Just put him over by that cooler over there. I got to get this bag of seed moved. It's 44 degrees. He just said he's having fun. We just learned another valuable lesson. Don't keep the sample bags outside too long. These guys need the rain. We all need the rain right now. So it's good, just not when you're trying to run an outfit like this. 3/4 of the way there. I don't know what I'm complaining about. I'm sitting in a warm pickup and that kid's out in the wet. It's been quite a learning experience, all this stuff. Makes for a hell of a good story. I'm already thinking about getting a pickup and ditching this Ranger and this Wintex. That Wintex automatic soil probe. I seem to have a lot of problems with it. It binds up. Sometimes it spins and shoots the dirt out of the wrong side or the soil. Sorry, I don't want to call it dirt. I got chewed out by one viewer on that. What a bunch of nonsense. Dirt, soil, what is the damn difference? I really do wish I brought that sandwich though. The map is all blue. He is done. Oh man, I bet that was miserable in that thing. So here's where I think I screwed up. I didn't tell him about like being efficient in the field. I don't think Brodie has run much machinery, if any, which is fine. He's got a soil testing background, but I don't think he's ever grid sampled, and he certainly hasn't run the EarthOptics thing, which You have to scan the entire field, so you're driving up and back in 60-foot widths to interpolate between the sample points. If I were doing it, which I don't know if it's the right way or not, but if I were doing it, I would drive up and down the field, and each time I got to a point, I would stop, take my samples, move on to the next point, stop, and then do it all at once. But I think we were scanning the entire field, going back and hitting the points. It might have cost us some time, but not terrible. For a night in the rain, man, I owe this kid a hot meal. Oh, you're soaked, dude. Jesus. Probably owe him a month of groceries at Sam's Club. 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Right.
Biggest problem? Doc.
Well, yeah, it's a grid sample.
The grid samples are what took the longest.
Yeah, which they do. But so did you go up, did you scan the whole field and then go back to the points?
Yes.
I think if you were...
I found it to be more faster.
It's faster, really? How
because
come?
what happens is when you go around your circle and scan those dots,
Yeah.
and you're going up and down, it just messes up the whole track. To be able to, it's like a rhythm and flow, so going like up, down.
Yeah.
You have a flow, you can keep going and faster and
Okay.
faster. Well, as if you're stopping like every 20 things to sample, it just feels like it takes longer.
Oh, well shit. We don't have to stand in the rain. About this stuff, I don't know if this is a good video or not, but how the hell am I supposed to know?
97.2% field coverage. That you put down were...
The borders didn't match up?
Yeah, some of the borders didn't match up, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. I think I used the county, the CLUs or whatever, the maps. So what's your overall opinion on it?
On
EarthOptics in general, do you think it's ridiculous? Do you think I'm just chasing a shiny object?
I personally believe that EarthOptics can be useful. However, when it comes to being fast, efficient, and when you're doing grid samples with nutrients, or if stopping at every point, that takes the longest. Because this whole area we did had 25 points.
Yeah, you had 31 samples.
31 sample bags total. Yeah. So if you do the math, that's about there's about 10 bags an hour. That's without counting going up and down the field. But EarthOptics, it's definitely worth it. It just needs to be more, I would say, if you could get a bigger scanner, that'd be 10 times better. But also, figure out a way to not have so many sample points, because those grid samples take the longest. 111 acre field?
Yeah, but if you think about it, guys that grid sample do 2.5 acre grids.
Yeah.
That takes a long time.
A long time.
Some guys in Kansas do 1 acre grids. That's 160 bags on a quarter.
Which is crazy.
Which is nuts.
Were you expecting?
And the idea of this is to make the grid wider. So now we're at 4 to 8 acres, depending on where. And I think this one might have been closer to 4.
Were you expecting it to take this long?
I have no idea. This is new to me too.
That's my biggest thing. Bigger scanner.
60 feet's not big enough, huh?
60 feet's not big enough. I think I went up and down that field 20 times, maybe a little bit more.
Probably. I think the math said it was like 40 some passes probably.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the map that it makes. I haven't made a nutrient map one yet. Is it uploading?
Saturday, yeah, it's uploading.
Okay.
53,606 data points.
Jesus H. Pretty nuts. Connected to Starlink too, right?
I am connected.
What in the same hell?
Well,
this always takes so long.
Does
Does it say you're uploaded?
Yes. No, it's synchronizing field scan. It's uploading.
Oh, it still is right now.
Yeah, if you have 50,000.
How many more?
20,000 more to upload.
Oh, okay.
Took a lot of data points.
Yeah, this is why you gotta have Starlink for a deal like this.
Yeah, Starlink.
You would never make this work. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like how many acres. I don't want to oversell it and then not be able to service the acres. You know what I'm saying?
5 fields a day.
4 or 5 fields a day. So what if you were doing quarter sections then? Probably.
If I was doing
couple fields.
Couple fields, yeah. I mean, like, you gotta test the waters as fall, as they say.
Gotta test the water. Well, you can see how I test the waters. I go in and I just buy a bunch of machinery and then I figure it out after the fact. But the problem is when you're thinking about doing this and you're talking to everybody about doing it, you don't hear about the challenges with it. Nobody tells you that because, of course, they got,
I would
like
say,
anything else, they're selling you something too.
The most.
So the Wintex is the problem?
It was my #1 enemy.
Do you think a hydraulic probe would be faster? It seems like those are so slow. Like,
no, absolutely not.
So this is quicker.
This technically feels like it's quicker. However, that machine back there is a POS.
It's bad, huh?
It because what happens is sometimes it will like pull the core up, but the other times it'll be spinning and whoop, half the core, like 3/4 of the core just goes on the side.
What the hell? Why does it do that?
Pain in my ass. Loaded. There we go.
Uploaded it?
Yep. Now hold on. I gotta sync one more time.
I didn't know you had to do that. Anyway, there's some of the challenges with it. It's not bad, and we can streamline it, I think, to get better. But yeah, you just don't realize. And that's with any project, anything you do. Everything is more complicated. Any new piece of machinery you buy, we got a planter with a bunch of technology on it. It's 3 years old, and it still takes me a week to get the thing ready. With any technology, there are limitations and there are challenges, but they can be overcome. I'm gonna go help him load this thing up. Still raining. Brodie, it's been real. Adam with True Grit Agronomy, thank you for watching. We're gonna go get something warm to eat, get these shipped off. When I get the maps, probably be a week, 10 days, I'll do another video and I'll show you why the heck we went to these lengths to make this happen. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for that soon.
I was just like, I'm so sick of this damn Wintex machine.